If you care too much about what other people think, and that fear keeps holding you back from doing the things you actually want to do, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you exactly how to get rid of the fear of judgment in just 5 simple steps. By the end of this video, you will never let other people's opinions, especially losers, decide how you act or what you do with your life. So let's get into the first step, the truth about judgment. The most common advice about getting rid of the fear of judgment is that other people don't think about you that much, so just be yourself. Let me explain why this advice doesn't work. This does not work because deep down you know it's not true. You constantly see judgment everywhere. You see it on social media, you hear it when your friends gossip, and you also know that you judge other people in your own head. Humans are social animals. We naturally compare ourselves to other people and give them labels. Judging others helps humans know who they can trust, who they belong with, and what to expect from other people. So judgment itself is unavoidable. That's why the advice, "other people don't think about you that much," doesn't work for most people. But now, here's a very important thing to understand, and this is what actually helps. People don't judge others based on what is actually true. They judge others based on their own worldviews and personal preferences. This means there is no single way people see you. Even if you are a total people pleaser and try to do everything right, you will still annoy someone. And when you change yourself to avoid that judgment, you will then annoy another group. One person's confident is another person's arrogant. One person's quiet is another person's boring. One person's weird is another person's interesting. No matter what you do, you will be judged by someone, especially by people who don't match your way of thinking. Which brings us to the second step. Stop being scared of being disliked by losers. By losers, I mean people who are unsuccessful and who live in a way you don't want to live. Let me explain why. As you just learned, people do not judge others based on truth, but based on their own personal preferences, how they would prefer to live, how they would act, and what they think is acceptable. So when someone judges you, they are judging you through their own lifestyle and values. And you should never fear the judgment of losers, because when they judge you, it usually means you are probably going in the right direction. For example, I have a very unpleasant relative who I don't get along with. In my opinion, she is very unsuccessful, embarrassing, and lazy, even though she herself believes that she is very educated and talented. One time, me and her had a disagreement about what it means to be successful. I said that to me being successful means knowing what you want and having the courage to move toward it. She said that success means being happy and that you should not constantly try to achieve things. The argument didn't get heated or emotional. It was just two people with very different worldviews having a small debate. A few days later, I heard that she was talking behind my back, saying that I was arrogant and that I was too young to understand anything. For a second, I was honestly confused. I couldn't believe someone would say something like that after such a calm disagreement. But then I realized something. The fact that this kind of woman doesn't like me is actually a really good sign. It means that her values, priorities, and ideas about how to live are very different from mine. And honestly, I would be much more worried if she did like me, because that would mean I was aligning myself with a mindset and lifestyle I don't respect and don't want for my life. Every time a loser judges you, it means that you are either threatening their ego or you are simply living a life they would not prefer. Either way, their judgment isn't something you should fear or take seriously, because you don't want approval from people whose lives you wouldn't want to live or whose personalities you don't even like. Now let's move on to step 3, what you're actually afraid of. The main thing that feeds the fear of judgment is insecurity. The more insecure you are about something, the more you fear other people noticing it or judging it. That makes you hide yourself and overthink, and it slowly strips away your uniqueness and personality. So in order to stop caring about what other people think, you have to go straight to the insecurities that are causing it. You have to identify the main things about yourself that you're most afraid other people will notice or judge. So think about it. What are the top 1 or 2 insecurities that immediately come to mind? Whether it's your looks, your personality, your skills, or something else. Once you're clear on that, the next question is very simple. Is this something you can actually change, or is it something you can't? For example, things like your height, face shape, voice, or certain natural features you were born with, you can't really change those. You can maybe make some improvements, but you can't completely change them. On the other hand, things like your hair, your style, your social skills, or your discipline are absolutely changeable. Now, if it's something you can change, then the solution is to work on it. Fear of judgment hits hardest when you know you're avoiding something you could improve. So if it's changeable, then change it. Now, if it's something you can't really change, then the solution is to own it. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that, because I know this part can be really hard. One of the easiest ways to do this is to look at people who have the same trait you're insecure about and are still confident, respected, and successful. For example, let's say you're insecure about having a big forehead. Now, go on Google or social media and search for models or celebrities with big foreheads. You'll find tons of women with big foreheads who are considered very attractive and who are clearly confident in themselves. They don't hide their foreheads, and it doesn't take away from their attractiveness at all. Now let's say you're insecure about your body shape. Do the exact same thing. Search for women with your body type, and you'll quickly see confident, attractive, and successful women who look exactly like you. It shows you that the thing you're insecure about does not automatically hold you back. It only holds you back if you treat it like a flaw. Once you see proof that the same trait exists in people who are winning in life, your brain stops using it as an excuse to hide or doubt yourself. Step number 4. Whose opinion actually scares you? When people say they're scared of judgment, they usually think they're scared of everyone judging them. But that's almost never true. In reality, you're usually scared of judgment from specific people. And if you don't identify who those people are, the fear stays strong and quietly starts ruining your life. You lower your goals, you censor yourself and your choices whenever they're around. It completely ruins your confidence and your charisma. And over time, this turns into a life you regret. On the other hand, when you identify exactly whose opinions scare you the most and detach from them, your confidence and charisma level up really fast, and you finally start choosing the life you actually want. So think about it. Whose opinion actually scares you the most? For some people, it's their family. For others, it's attractive people. And for some, it's people with high status. If you want to know exactly whose opinion you need to detach from and how to do it, I made a free tool for you. It's the first link in the description, and it's completely free. Identifying exactly who you're afraid of will speed up your confidence and charisma more than anything else you can do. Now let's move on to step 5. Push through the fear. This part is extremely important, so pay attention. The truth about the fear of judgment is that it's not something motivation or logical understanding alone can fix. You most likely already understand very well that you shouldn't care so much about what other people think of you. But despite understanding this, you still feel nervous in social situations, and you still feel that fear in your body when there is a chance you might be judged, even though you 100% understand and know that you shouldn't care. Let me explain why this happens. Motivation, positive thinking, or logical understanding doesn't fix the fear of judgment, because fear lives deep in the unconscious part of your brain, which your thoughts can't control. It's basically a fear like any other fear, just like fear of spiders or fear of the dark. You don't get rid of those fears by hyping yourself up or telling yourself not to be scared. For example, even if you know a spider can't hurt you, your body can still react with fear. Even if you know there are no monsters in the dark, you can still feel scared when the lights are off. That's because fear doesn't listen to logic. It learns from experience. Your body learned at some point that being judged feels dangerous. Maybe you were embarrassed, laughed at, or rejected. Your brain remembered that feeling and started trying to protect you from it. So now, whenever there is a chance you might be judged, your body reacts automatically, even if your logical mind knows there's no real danger. So if motivation and logic don't really help, what should you do instead? Here is the fastest and most effective way to actually get rid of the fear. Think about small, random things you usually avoid because they feel awkward, uncomfortable, or scary to you, and start doing those on purpose. This has to be personal. I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do, because what feels scary or uncomfortable is different for everyone. It's extremely important to start small. Pick things that make you a little nervous, not completely overwhelmed. For example, take a selfie in public, wear something unique, mispronounce a word on purpose, and don't correct it. Ask a question that feels stupid, whatever feels a little uncomfortable for you. If you have a friend to do this with, that's even better. Go out in public together and give each other small challenges to do that are slightly embarrassing. Laugh about it and make it fun. The main thing is to simply push through the fear. It is completely normal to feel nervous or uncomfortable when you do these things. What matters is feeling the fear and still doing the thing anyway, because that is how you train yourself. Every time you push through, even when your mind is screaming at you not to, your brain literally changes. Anyway, here's the final takeaway. If you want to stop caring about what other people think, focus on these 5 things. First, understand that people will judge you no matter what, and that their judgment is based on their own preferences and worldview, not on objective truth. Second, stop being scared of or even caring about the opinions of losers. Third, be honest about your insecurities. If it's something you can change, work on it. If it's something you can't change, learn to own it. Fourth, Identify what specific types of people you're most afraid of. For that, you can use the free tool I talked about earlier. And last, push through the fear and take action. This was the Desire Diaries. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any recommendations for my future videos, let me know in the comments. Until then, stay confident, smart, and glowing.